You're watching LMCC, your community TV. Hi, I'm Chris Vogt, and welcome to Lakeside News Weekly, your guide to news and events going on in the Lake Minnetonka area. One Book, One Community is back. This year, the Excelsior Library welcomes Minnesota native Steve Rushin as he discusses Stingray Afternoons, a chronicle of his 1970s childhood in Bloomington.
As a kid, only knowing this, I thought Bloomington in particular was the center of the universe. And the Vikings were a big part of that, going to the Super Bowl more or less a few months after we arrived. And I tell the story in the book that I sort of instantly became super invested in the Vikings. My favorite player was Alan Page, even though everybody else in the neighborhood had a Chuck Foreman 44 jersey or a Fran Tarkenton number 10 jersey. You couldn't buy an Alan Page jersey. But my mom, one birthday, got a purple 88 jersey and put my name on the back, and it wasn't quite a Vikings jersey. It had gold hoops on the arm and gold letters, numbers, when the Vikings had white, but it was good enough, and I wore that thing until it developed holes. And the Jerry Seinfeld line about men wear underwear until you can blow it away like dandelion spores, that's how I wore that shirt. And I went to Nativity of Mary in Bloomington, went to Catholic school. All of my siblings did. We wore a uniform. The only way you could distinguish yourself in Catholic grade school was by your sneakers. So, sneakers were gym shoes. My Connecticut children and their Twin Cities cousins here were having this debate yesterday. My kids were saying they're sneakers, and my sister's kids were saying they're gym shoes, they're tennis shoes. And so my tennis shoes at Nativity, gosh, could we just get Adidas? 3-striped Adidas. My mom would show us the Sears winner with 4 stripes. Look, this is one more stripe. That's one better. And I'm like, this isn't a military rank. 1 stripe doesn't make it one better. So that was the environment that I was living in as a kid. But one of my classmates at Nativity, his dad managed the Airport Holiday Inn out by Met Stadium, and the Vikings stayed there on the Saturday nights before home games. And my classmate Troy invited me one Saturday night to sleep over at the Holiday Inn on the night before a Vikings game, and we could order room service milkshakes and sit by the pool, and when the Vikings came in, we could get their autographs. And this just blew my mind. I was nervous about this for the couple of weeks leading up to this. And I wore my mom allowed me, this was such a special event that my mom allowed me to wear this moth-eaten Alan Page jersey to the Holiday Inn. And when I got there, Troy's dad said to me, if you stand over here and ask politely, you can get the autographs. And he turned to me with the obliviousness of grown-ups and said, except for Alan Page, he doesn't sign autographs, don't ask him. And I had been practicing in the mirror, what I was, please Mr. Page, may I have your autograph? And I was devastated. I mean, I was crushed. I remember to this day, and this was, 42 years ago or something. And so I stood in the corner, but I got some Vikings autographs. Some of the pictures are in the book, a picture of me getting Nate Wright's autograph. They all come in with, suede jackets and big bell bottoms and striped pants and big afros, and it was, just blew my mind. And then the automatic doors slide open, and in walks Alan Page with this big afro, big collar, looking like big mutton chop sideburns, and I couldn't even choke out the words, even though I knew I could no longer get his autograph. And he blew through the lobby. Even the older kids who were, lobby lizards who would get autographs every week knew to step aside. He walked past those kids. He walked past me, and out of the corner of his eye, something kind of caught his eye, and he turned to me, and he came back. And he took the pen out of my trembling hand and signed my notebook paper, handed it back to me, and then he disappeared up the stairwell. There's like a 2-story Holiday Inn, and I just stood there shaking in a puddle of flop sweat and gratitude, and that was a moment of my life. When I set out to write this book, like I just started writing down memories, and the first 10 come immediately, and that's that's probably number one of what I remember of being a little kid in Bloomington. And I've been a writer for Sports Illustrated for 30 years, and maybe 15 of those years ago, the magazine for a Where Are They Now issue sent me to St. Paul to interview Alan Page, Supreme Court Justice. And halfway through this interview in his chambers at the state Supreme Court, I started telling him the story that I just told you, and but I proceeded by saying, was there a time when you didn't sign autographs? And he said, well, that's true. He said, I didn't see the value in that. He said, I would be happy to have a conversation with somebody, but they didn't want that. You'd be at the orchestra, they'd tap you on the shoulder and just hand a piece of paper. He said, there's no human connection there. I'd talk to somebody for 5 minutes before I'd sign an autograph for them. And so I told him the story, and he kind of hung in suspense for a little bit. And then when I got to the part where he signs the autograph, he was relieved. And because he realized at some point that it was just easy to sign the autograph. People don't understand your motivations. And a couple of weeks later, and I told him about my moth-eaten Alan Page jersey, and a couple of weeks later in the mail, I got a note from him and a 1970 three-quarter sleeve white road Vikings '88 jersey, signed across the chest, and I didn't want to put it in a frame. I didn't want to leave it in a closet. I break it out every Halloween and dress as my favorite superhero, Alan Page, and wear it once a year for that reason. But and when the book came out last summer, he texted or emailed me that he really wanted to come to the reading that I did last summer when the book came out in Minneapolis, but as a quintessential Minnesotan, he and his wife Diane were going to be up north at their cabin. So I said that's a legit doctor's excuse if you're going up north. But I did go to his house before the reading, and I got to sign a book to him. 40 years later, I get to sign something for you. But what a difference in my life that made. So, but that was what growing up to me in Bloomington was.
To watch the latest One Book, One Community featuring author Steve Rushin, go to the LMCC website and click on the Channel 12 program guide. Check out LMCC on Facebook. Be sure to like and friend us so you can keep up with all the happenings or to watch one of your favorite videos.
Coming this summer, Soundcheck on the Road, featuring Lake Minnetonka's outdoor concerts. Look for it on LMCC Channel 12 and our YouTube channel.
Here's what's coming up on First Responder TV. I'll talk with local tree experts about storm awareness and safety tips. The Long Lake Fire Department takes part in a bus extrication training exercise on Safety Source. We'll spotlight the top 5 fireworks safety tips. Scam Alert will give you an update on scams that have been targeting citizens in the lake area.
First Responder TV airs daily on LMCC's Channel 12.
The Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission, located in Spring Park, creates a variety of high-quality public, educational, and government programming for our member cities.
All in favor?
LMCC operates 4 channels. Channel 8 or HD 808 offers city council meetings in high definition. Staff-produced and community programming airs on channels 12 and 21. Channel 20 features school board and other government agency meetings. The studio is fully equipped in high definition, featuring state-of-the-art Panasonic cameras and fluorescent lighting. The studio is used to create a variety of LMCC programming. The LMCC production van is used to cover a variety of events in the community in high definition, including high school sports, concerts, and community forums. If you live in one of our member cities and are interested in producing your own show or using your talents for a production, please contact the Lake Minnetonka Communications Commission. LMCC, your community TV. Well, there you have it. News and events happening around the Lake Minnetonka area. For more information about LMCC or learn more about our programming, go to our website at www.lmcc-tv.org. Thanks for watching this edition of Lakeside News Weekly.